Hello from the Bureau, here with a severe weather update on the hot and windy conditions that continue to affect southeastern parts of the country, generating heatwave conditions and elevating fire danger. So at the moment we've got this trough that's leaning across southeastern parts of the country with these really hot, dry and gusty northwesterly winds ahead of it and much cooler southwesterly winds on that southern flank. Daytime temperatures are expected to be between 8 to 12 degrees above average across New South Wales today, reaching the low 40s as we head inland, and it's these hot conditions that are combining with those gusty winds to elevate the fire dangers. Now these are reaching extreme about the Mallee and southern parts of New South Wales today, where a fire weather warning is in place. And what that means is that any fires that do get going within these areas may be difficult to control or contain. Now there's also a severe heatwave warning out for eastern parts of New South Wales, extending from the Hunter all the way down into the south coast. Now this is just indicating that it's not just the daytime temperatures that are expected to be unusually hot, but it's also the overnight or nighttime temperatures that are expected to be well above average. And these heatwave conditions are expected to continue as we head into the weekend. Today also a thunderstorm risk occurs through central and eastern parts of Victoria, but also about the coast of New South Wales as well. Now very little if any rainfall is expected with these thunderstorms, and that brings a risk of dry lightning that may ignite new wildfires. So as we head into tomorrow, that trough is expected to push northwards with those gusty winds starting to ease throughout southwestern parts of New South Wales and really starting to ramp up through northern, inland and eastern parts. Also just taking a quick notice of this cold front, because it's going to be this cold front that brings relief eventually to these high temperatures. However, for Saturday, for tomorrow, daytime temperatures continue to be well above average for much of New South Wales and peaking across the Sydney area, a maximum of 37 degrees, but even warmer about those western suburbs where they'll be nudging the low 40s. Also, you can see that these yellow lines is where the temperatures are much cooler on the southern side of that trough throughout Victoria and southeastern parts of South Australia. Now, it's where the highest temperatures combine with the really gusty winds that we see the peaks in the fire danger, and that's across inland, eastern and northern parts of New South Wales, including the Sydney and the Illawarra for tomorrow. And a fire weather warning will be issued for these areas. But as well, significantly, thunderstorms are forecast across much of southeastern Australia, with dry lightning a risk mostly on and south of Newcastle, with very little rainfall expected with those thunderstorms. Now there's also a risk of damaging wind gusts in excess of 90 kilometres per hour through the yellow area to the south, while up in these northern areas there's a risk of heavy rainfall or damaging winds with storms that may form about the northern ranges of New South Wales. So when are we going to see relief from these high temperatures? We have this cold front that will cross the southeast during Saturday, but it's on Sunday that it will start to race up the New South Wales coast. Now we're expecting it to reach the Sydney metro area soon after sunrise on Sunday morning. But Saturday night is still expected to be considerably hot, and it won't be until that southerly change pushes through an hour or two after sunrise that we'll start to see the temperatures come down. Also worth noting is these showers and storms on Sunday afternoon really starting to fire up throughout northeastern parts of New South Wales and pushing over the border into Queensland as well. So we do have a risk of severe thunderstorms throughout southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales on Sunday. So seeing a return of those severe thunderstorm outbreak where heavy rainfall, damaging winds or large hail are all possible. Now this is following a very quiet week across southern Queensland and northeast New South Wales, and marks the start as these thunderstorms are on the forecast as we head into next week and well in towards the end of the week. So we've got a lot to talk about weather-wise across southeastern parts of the country. Heat wave, elevated fires and severe thunderstorms. Now's a good time to stay up to date with our forecasts and warnings via the Bureau website, app and social media. And as always, listen to all the advice from your local emergency services. Bye for now.